I can survive. I know that I can survive. I said I can survive. I said I can survive on my own.
The North-South Connection proudly presents TNA Never Dies. Now, cross the line with your hosts, Aaron, Jenny, and JT.
You guys ever just want to fucking just punch Mike TNA in the goddamn face?
Every
Like, just-
day
yeah.
since 1995.
Just unload on that fucking giant 5-head of his. Just fucking pound it into dust and just
Does
I
a
gotta-
tuxedo make it worse for you?
everything makes it worse. Okay, everything. I don't want to see this guy. He's just showed up in WCW, all right, and he's part of the team permanently now. We got to start this show with him yelling and screaming and hooting and hollering. He's recapping all of Double J's bullshit from the previous week. And the one thing that we hear in this whole fucking promo of his to start this show is, Jeff Jarrett, do you have any regrets? Jenny, do you have any regrets?
I regret everything every day.
JT, what is your biggest regret?
My biggest regret is that when I read this and was like, wait, because I read my notes, it's obviously been a while, and I was like, my God, if this all right, this paragraph I wrote whenever I did this preparation sums up TNA. Okay, we recap last week with AJ Styles, Glenn Gilberti, Cash, Lynn, Lawler, Rhodes, Raven LaRee, the arrival of Mike Barton, R-Truth, Nelson, the debut of New Jack, Church's Revenge, and Double J beating D'Lo Brown. Like, that is so much stuff that occurred in that episode. There's like 55 debuts in there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's stupid. When I was 23, I went to the West Edmonton Mall, and it was only $30 to hold and pet a baby bear, and I didn't do it.
Yeah, it seems so foolish.
Big-
Were you
regret.
scared?
No, I was. It was a money thing.
Ah, well,
One of my
30 is a
regrets.
lot.
One of my regrets is when Graham Cawthon and I went to Rhode Island Comic Con, and someone had an Ultimate Warrior wrestling buddy, mint condition for sale, and I think it was the same thing. It was like $100 or 90, whatever it was, and I'm like, I'll come back for it. You know, I had to talk myself into it. I came back and it was gone, and I'm so mad I didn't just fucking
Yeah.
buy it, like, because I had my Hogan. He's still in great shape. Look at this is from 1990,
Aw.
and I used to beat the shit out of this thing. And he's
Imagine
still,
how many times you fucked that thing.
you know, I never brought him outside.
Now you're cuddling
Um,
him like you love him, but we know what happens.
He sits right on my couch with me every night.
Yeah, he's
But
sick.
he, you know, that thing held up. Like, I feel like Warrior to have him with him would have been super cool.
Now the problem is
Could've
you
went
would
by
have made them.
poster.
You would have made them fight, and you would have destroyed
Right,
them
right.
because we
True.
know that when they come together, the universe can't withstand it.
Maybe I would have set them far apart in my house and every day bring them a little closer because the universe keeps bringing them together into each other's paths.
And then your house fucking
Have them collide in the middle.
I'm gonna just ask this right off the top. Why is Double J so fucking scruffy?
It's scruffy.
What is going on with his hair? JT, what is this look?
I feel like this was the look of the era. Was like the slob, the baggy pants, the hemp necklace. It's like the Dawson Leary look, like
Messy
messy hair. Like,
Yeah.
Dawson
That
Leary
was like-
was in high school.
well, so Jeff Jarrett's supposed to be. Jarrett looks like the kid in like the guy that infiltrates the high school in like a rom-com or like a teen movie.
He's a
Like,
fucking narc cop.
yeah, he's trying to get in to write the story on TNA. Hey, fellow young X Division wrestlers. Like, he's working for Bill Apter on the cover, like trying to do that. By the way, listen, real quick, because I know we love our irreverence here, but I do wanted to say
It's
this
coming.
This podcast is simulcast on audio and video. So if you're listening, be sure to
I don't wanna do
watch on
reference
YouTube
scenes.
because there's all kinds of graphical additions that we're putting into the show,
Yeah, this
courtesy
is-
producer Tim. So watch
Graphical.
as well.
Yeah, don't go on YouTube for this one. I think that's the way to go about this.
Yeah.
What do you think the odds are that Jeff Jarrett didn't graduate high school?
Well, I don't need to, pal. I think
50-50.
I think his dad made him. That's my
Jeff, you get out there and you fucking you graduate that AP chemistry class.
But Danny, I don't want to.
In this recap, we're also reminded of Jarrett's casual abuse of Goldilocks And we get the
Yes.
shot of him fucking choking her against the wall.
It was
Like he's like,
ridiculous.
"You want to be one of the boys?" Jenny, is JT fucking the boys?
Is
Double J, you
JT
mean? No,
Oh, Jarrett.
I was like, no,
Maybe
so it's not
not.
like
We know JT is fucking Hulk Hogan on a nightly basis.
You guys are definitely fucking, but
Yeah, that's been going on for a long time. That's
we
fine.
all know that. So,
My wife doesn't mind because she doesn't have a penis. Doesn't
She
have the
never will have the
equipment,
equipment.
so, yeah.
This is
what was the question
no,
again?
he's an abusive prick. It's one of the worst parts of this era of TNA that we're watching, because honestly, has been the consistent treatment of the women. Like it's real
yeah.
bad.
Oh, it's
Oh,
terrible.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Now, this is, of course, TNA Never Dies. And it's the first time in video format. You never joined us if you've just first time. I'm Aaron. That's JT. That's Jenny. We also give a big wave to producer Tim, currently locked in the impact zone, providing all the AV with and to bring you up to speed. This is technically episode 39 of TNA Never Dies.
Yes.
The previous 38 episodes are all in the archives in audio form on the North South Connection podcast feed. Tonight,
Enough with the pulsating music.
I
I'm
know.
tired of talking about it.
tonight
Yeah.
we're looking at the April 9th, 2003 episode. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is the only time I'm probably ever going to mention which episode we're actually talking about in the episode.
Mhm.
So
They're
big
all in the
event.
archives in the audio, like you said. North South Connection.
Yeah.
.podbean.com has everything. So if you want to go back and catch up and listen, if you're new, feel free. I can't believe
Yep.
we did 38. That's the biggest surprise I think to me, is that we actually did 38 of those.
It feels like we did 1,000 of them.
It feels like we did 10 at the same time.
Yeah. Jenny, did you miss TNA?
Of course I did. I bugged y'all every other month. Are we going to do this again? Are we
More
gonna
like
do
every
this
other week.
again?
But
Well, yeah, I miss it. Miss you guys.
I miss you too.
Come
JT,
on.
do you miss childhood, JT?
Obviously, I mean,
Why?
this guy's sitting on my couch. So, yes.
Nothing
He is-
childish about that.
Poster
He is
behind me
still a
is from
little
when I was
boy.
9. right here.
I'm
But yeah,
always-
and I did wear my Vince Russo inspired baseball jersey, bro, for tonight's episode, talking sports entertainment extreme.
My hair decided to be this mess, so we're just going with it because Jenny chastised me once for wearing a hat. That's just how it goes.
Some people
look,
can't wear hats, Aaron.
I know, and
He
I
wears
can't.
it. It's just on the episodes you're not on.
I
So
know.
there you go.
Okay.
Sneak it
Yeah,
in.
I've seen those.
Now, if you've listened to the show, you know I'm always amused by the intro to these weekly
Mhm.
pay-per-views. Not only because it looks like the statue is two dudes fucking, right?
Yes.
But also, are they blowing up statues every Wednesday here? Like
Looks
just
like
to
it.
make them to get this thing on the JT, how depressed is the beleaguered sculptor who has to build this shit week
Every
after
week
week?
has to reassemble it.
Come
He's definitely
on.
trying to think of a way to make it easier, and he's like, I just can't. And
I don't know how to
yeah, I
do
feel
it.
like he expresses it in the face of the guy who's get the armbar on him. He looks like
The arm
a
guy
sad
looks like
skull.
an alien.
yeah, he looks like a
He
sad
does.
skeleton.
Yeah,
He's
Like,
not
that's the
happy.
evidence that there's UFOs. It's right there.
He's definitely not happy.
TNA. TNA Never Dies. Conspiracies. I swear, I was just flying by your plane. I didn't want to watch this show. We opened the show to all kinds of shit all over the ring. There's just shit everywhere. Jenny, how angry are you at your son if his room looks like this?
Oh God, it looks like this all of the time, 100%. And I'm angry every single day about it.
I thought you were for a minute going to say I'm angry every single day.
Well,
Well,
yes,
that's also true.
Yes,
Yes,
that very
Well,
angry.
I'll tell you what's maybe going to bring your mood up. Our first
Oh, boy.
competitor comes out to this, and this is something very special, I feel. Very, very special. Listen to that music. Now, if Metallica started playing this, how confused and angry would the fans be? To me, this is one of the worst covers of anything ever.
It's pretty bad.
It-
And they could have used, like, the one WWE uses eventually is like way better. Like they could have taken the time to commission something. But TNA is like full on, we talk about it in the archives, like full on knockoff central with all these teams. Like
Mhm.
even ones that aren't
Smooth.
knockoffs of old wrestling teams, they're knockoffs of real songs, right? Smooth, like, yeah, it was a running joke, right?
Yeah.
And guys are still using it in this promotion. Like it's been through 9 guys already. It's like the
Puerto Rico
WCW
song?
Japanese wrestler music.
Yeah.
But
Puerto Rico.
Yes.
You know, when we did that back in the audio, I did this every time. Whoa! Now you finally get to see it. Like, I know you're confused. The song is off. Yeah, it's a Sandman. Jenny, does it concern you that the Sandman is bleeding before he's even near the ring?
No, I think that's pretty normal for him.
And
he looks good though. He's thinned out.
Do you find he looks good? I feel JT. Do you think he looks? I find he looks very disinterested here.
Yeah, but I think she means physically, which I would agree with. He looks like he's slimmed down. He's probably just not eating because of the drugs. But I would say this is probably some of the better shape he's in the more modern era. Since it's like early like ECW, like 94, 95, I thought he looked better. A few years later at One Night Stand, he's got the huge gut. So it's not a far leap from here to there.
How long is the conversation with him trying to get him to convince him to do an Iron Man match?
Yeah. How long? 10 minutes?
I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He comes out on this Raven T-shirt. So
he's got some low key work rate though. If you watch him,
I love it.
He does some crazy shit. Yeah,
he's not a bad guy worker at all. He's next. New Church is out. Oh yeah. The New Church has very slowly morphed.
It's Father Jim and his gun Slash and Brian.
You know there's lyrics coming up, right? Catacombs is the first bit. The New Church is slowly morphed into one of this panel's favorite acts in the company.
Oh yeah.
When we started this project, Jenny, did you think we would be this into Brian Lee and one half of PG-13?
No. I mean, I figured I would be because I'm terrible at stuff like that. But
I've gone full Scott Criscola with Brian Lee, where I say it on every podcast I'm on. I'm like, he's really not bad. If you want in other promotions,
he's great.
I've given the full Criscola. By the way, this part of the New Church song, in my mind, coming up, always transitions to Trish Stratus' song. Oh, in control.
Oh, rock and roll. It's like, you ever seen that clip of the guys playing 4 chords and they play every pop song?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Exactly
that's what it is. It's like
those
New Church. I need a mashup of New Church going right into Trish Stratus' theme. That's
Tim.
My mind. That's what I always
project.
And you got about an hour. Get it done.
And right away. Okay, so right away the fucking bullshit starts. I thought the opening match. Maybe I'm the idiot. I thought the opening match was New Jack and the Sandman against the New Church. But the fucking Harris brothers are in the ring.
Yeah.
2 questions then. One, did either of you know what this match was when the Clan brothers showed up?
No.
And why is New Jack wearing so much red? You can answer however you want.
He's representing blood.
Is he a blood?
I didn't say the blood. I said blood. It's representing blood.
Sure.
I just love that. I had no idea, and I was kind of following TNA at this point. We're 3 weeks out from me ordering a pay-per-view during this time.
Oh, really? You wanted that Raven title match?
It was a big deal. We'll get to it. It was a big deal. Ron and John Harris suck. But I had no memory or idea that this ECW underworld existed within TNA. I just love that they went to this place and brought all these guys back. And for Jenny, it's special because we do ECW podcasts every other Thursday, and it's just seeing all these dudes start popping up randomly was what? This ECW Redux at TNA?
It's so crazy. Now, JT, am I insane, or does Brian Lee look a little bit like a young Undertaker?
It's kind of, but it's just a little off where you may notice.
Yeah, just a bit. Now, this match has everything. It's everything you think it is. Plundering everywhere. New Jack uses both a cheese grater and a staple gun. Jenny, do you think he needed to be talked out of using a nail gun?
No.
Even I'm not doing that shit.
I like though too. It's the lowest form of ECW right away, where it's weapons for the sake of weapons. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
then there's like no reason for it. It's like,
No.
well, they wrestled in ECW,
Yeah.
so here you go.
The
Yep.
camera's not even on him when he brings out the staple gun.
No, you don't give a fuck.
Like, it's just a thing that's happening. I feel too Slash might be the low-key star of this match, as away
he's a fucking madman.
He's really good.
he's bleeding profusely while the Harris clan strings up the Sandman.
hmm
JT, do you think the Harris brothers would be more comfortable stringing up the Sandman from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out?
I thought you were going to say New Jack.
Oh boy, I wasn't sure.
I
what
thought you were going to say New
happening.
Jack, and I was going to say
See, mine
probably.
is as offensive, but you have to think about it for a minute to remember
Sure,
who that character
sure.
was. Sandman should probably also start thinking about winding it down. I feel he struggles mightily to take a table bump here. Like
He's been through a lot. His
Yeah.
body has been through a lot of ECW madness.
It's not a criticism. Like, I
Yeah.
respect everything he's done, but like,
But I feel like when he shows up at WWE, like he's pretty fun in like 06, 07. Like that whole story
Yeah.
of like he's like one of Vince's favorite guys. Like, oh, I love the fucking Sandman. There's a guy in the crowd here too that looks like Cam from Modern Family, and he's like all scared when they go by him, and that made me laugh.
well, he doesn't want to get blood on him. There's so much blood. Like,
Oh my
immediately.
god, it's everywhere.
It's just a crazy all over the place brawl. Look, Jenny, what do you think has more cracks or slits? New Jack's head or a really old withered nipple?
I think your nipple probably has more.
Oh, mine is fucking grizzled as fuck. Grizzled as fuck.
That's where you usually blade, right?
Can
Yeah.
talk about Scar foreheads. I'll talk about
Also,
mine.
I feed my Ultimate Warrior buddy my nipple from my chest. And go on.
You got to get the blood of the all dad out somehow.
Well, it's inside me. I can't. It got put in my anus, and I'm working it out ever since. This is where I struggle with New Jack. All right, because New Jack's all in red. Father James Mitchell is all in red.
Yes.
Like, Mitchell shouldn't be dressed like New Jack. New Jack shouldn't be dressed like Mitchell.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not like JT. Do you think? Because like, I don't know. Do you think? JT, does Father James identify as white?
I think he identifies as a devil.
Yes.
I thought
He's
I'm
evil.
a demon.
Like I
Evil.
think he
Yeah.
really thinks he's like was birthed from hell.
Yeah.
Mitchell is also James Vanderberg, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. It's funny watching him WCW because he's not there yet with the craziness.
No. Yeah.
There, but he's like, I'm comfortable with the way I feel. I'm gonna say that one of the unsung heroes of all of TNA is that fucking staircase in the back.
Yes.
Of the like it figures into every one of these like all
Yeah.
trap. Jenny, are you surprised that no one as of yet has perished on those stairs?
I am surprised. Are you sure that's accurate? I mean,
Well, I don't
do
have any
your
report
research
in
on
front of
that.
me.
Yeah.
I'm not very good with
I haven't
research.
watched that much TNA, so
As of yet, we haven't.
I haven't seen
Mhm.
enough yet to see. Like
Yeah.
it could happen for sure. And I think we may have done at least one episode since Jenny, you and I were actually in the asylum last
yes.
July for GCW. It took place where these shows did, and it definitely felt like kind of cool, like a little bit of nostalgia to be at the fairgrounds in the building that they did those
That's
in.
funny.
Oh, it was awesome.
And it's just crazy with those stairs because they're concrete, has a platform to throw someone
Mhm.
off. It's like the perfect spot to teach your dad a lesson. Like perfect.
Let's
Or
say
a little kitty cat.
Or a
Just
cat.
Bigelow
You're right.
lesson.
You're right. That was not on purpose. Sandman spends the majority of the match getting like the shit beat out of him.
Yes, he
And
did.
he's screaming like he's being shot up by Red from that 70s show. Like he's just fucking wailing. Guys, who is your definitive Sandman? Is it this guy? Is it like the joyous sleep bringer from that 1950s song? Is it Morpheus from the comic? What's your definitive Sandman? Is it the
Oh.
douchebag in the trench coat who wears the gas mask in DC Comics?
This is my Sandman.
Mariano Rivera.
Yeah, I guess he's the other one.
That is
But when I hear Sandman, this is who I first think of.
Oh yeah.
If I had to pick a Sandman, this is my
Right.
Sandman. This is my Sandman.
My Sandman's king.
Maybe from '95 though, not from TNA.
Oh,
Yeah,
fair enough.
yeah, right. 95, 96.
When he
Yeah.
had when he wasn't riddled with lung cancer. All right.
Right.
Of course, Sandman has to jump off the stairs 10,000 feet in the air onto Slash.
Yeah.
Now, should the Sandman be able to hold out long against two members of the SS?
Yes.
Yeah, he has. Sandman to me is like a Randy Orton. He's a guy you wouldn't think would be like friendly to the underserved class, but I feel like he's a man of the people. Like he'd be the one to surprisingly stand up for trans rights or against the neo-Nazis. You would think maybe he'd side, but he has like strong opinions the other way.
Like he'd
Right.
be
That's
like
Sandman to me.
they wouldn't be able to put him in one of those camps, is what you're saying.
No, he'd fucking fight out with his cane. And I mean, here one of the neo-Nazis even jams a fork into his eye, and blood is flowing, and he still gets up and batters him with a cane.
I feel like Oscar Schindler would ask him to leave now. You can't hide here. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Well, look, he doesn't hang on long. He gets H-bombed immediately by the Harris twins, and that ends the match.
Sadly.
So I guess it's a triple threat tag, which I would have never known going in, which is perfect. JT,
It's the worst option to win.
I know. So that's my question. We're not happy to see these racists back on top, are we?
No.
No, it's awful to see them win this match. I mean, I thought it was a fun brawl. Like it kind of hit the high notes of the style. The crowd was into it.
Yeah.
I do think these guys have injected a little bit of energy, like Sandman and New Jack, and we really like Slash and Lee all along.
Yeah.
The Harrises just suck. No one cares about them. I kind of hope the CCW world, like underworld, stays. Like I just like the undercurrent it has throughout the company. All this other shit's going on. You get these guys on the grimy level, killing each other. So I went like 3 stars as a match because I enjoyed it. I like these guys. I think it could have been even better without the Harrises, especially winning.
Jenny, is it strange to see the Harrises do this to Sandman when he really is their Aryan ideal? Like blue hair, blue eyes. I mean, he smokes. Hitler didn't like smoking.
I was gonna say only by physical attributes is he the ideal. Just being blonde isn't enough, I don't think.
No, you have to have some class.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm at 3 for the match. Here's where I'm at the Harrises, because I feel like the Harrises are weird because I hate them, obviously, with a passion, but I really don't mind their actual ring work. Like,
who has been saying this?
I know. Like,
I'm sorry. Who has been saying this
I know,
for many years?
You have, Jenny. You're the genius of this. You're the genius of the Harrises.
Look.
You're in the Harris clan.
You're making me stand up for them. I don't want to do that, but again, I've said this for a long time that they are fun to watch wrestle. So.
But do you enjoy watching Chris Benoit wrestle?
Yes, I do.
See, I'm kind of, but I get it. I just find it tough. Like, I just find it tough with them. But
I just think they suck. I don't even like the other stuff. I just don't like them.
I like them as like the
that's what you've always said.
The bashers, like they're just this bashing.
That's what I've always said. Early ECW, I was like, they're really
boring
fucking
and lame,
fun.
and I think we're going to see that they're completely overpushed here.
No,
no, we know they're overpushed here. Now look, we have no time to ponder any of this because right away we're rushed off to Goldilocks with Mike Bart.
Who?
Him. Look
Put
at
your
that
dukes
face. Barton's interview consists of him bragging about beating Steve Williams, the Godfather, and the Bradshaw at the Brawl for All.
Bradshaw.
Jenny, will this be on his tombstone? That he beat these guys at the Brawl for All?
Yes.
Like he's gonna go to his grave, like look at Dr. Death on the pig, like throwing that mouth guard out, right? Like
I think you can feel Jim Ross's soul come out of his body when you see Dr. Death crumple to the mat and his mouth guard fall out.
I wish there was a camera on Jim Ross when that happened. Jesus fucking Christ!
I would argue him
knocking out tombstone.
I would argue him knocking out Bradshaw was like the bigger surprise when you think of Bradshaw's like reputation and stuff and how he carries it. Like Dr. Death was pretty beaten, broken down at that point. Like he was old and like I don't think it's that big of a shock with him and Dr. Death, maybe in the industry for those obsessed with him. But I think Bradshaw, like he really clocks him. Look, he just fucking knocks him out cold. Like
he's dead.
That's like a bigger surprise to me. That's a young brawler in his prime that you always hear about.
How many people in the locker room fucking cheered when he knocked out Bradshaw?
Yeah.
Fuck yes. That guy put his penis in me.
Oh shit.
I think too. The Goldilocks Goldilocks' position here is like a super low-key important part of this show.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, she gets abused and such, but she's really key at introducing these guys and gals. And because it's such a revolving door roster, like, I think we kind of like almost take her for granted, like how good she is in this role for the most part, even though she gets abused every week for some reason. But before Barton can talk about the CTE he suffered at the hands of Butterbean, D'Lo Brown just thumps his way in and is just like, Mike Sanders! Like, he's just screaming about Mike Sanders. And look, I don't want this show to be about Mike Sanders. Like,
No.
I don't want it. And fuck D'Lo Brown for making us watch more Mike Sanders. Why couldn't he come in and be like, you know what? I don't want Mike Sanders here. And we'd all agree. Like, if he would ask for Mike Sanders to be fired, he'd be the fucking biggest babyface on this roster.
Mhm.
Also, I don't know about you guys, but I'd forgotten that they were in the sex dressing room.
Yeah.
Like, this is all happening in this weird place, and out of nowhere, like there's a frame on Goldilocks and D'Lo and Barton, but then Disco pops his head in and is like, "Look, we're gonna deliver Mike Sanders to D'Lo." It's such a strange thing, and then the camera pans over and Disco asks, "Fucking Chris Harris, who is in the sex dressing room for some reason, go find Mike Sanders." A lot to unpack here, JT. What's going on with Harris and sex?
Well, they've been kind of teasing this, right? That Harris is a little frustrated with the lack of success with the America's Most Wanted, and that maybe we're going to get a turn. We've talked a lot about Gilberti being like the frustrated middle manager of sex, which has been pretty funny. I actually think he's been okay in the role where he's constantly he's mad that Russo like went on vacation, extended his leave, and he's been like stuck with this stupid frigging company to run this thing with all these hires that Russo did. So he's got Sanders trying to act cool, and like all these guys he's just frustrated with, and he's so aggravated. And to me, it's like the most entertaining Gilberti's been for me that I've seen. Outside of maybe very early Disco.
The first match he did is Disco Inferno. We're like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
But why does Harris just jump too and like do it? Like he doesn't have any like
because
he's frustrated with his partner, but like what's he gonna do?
Maybe he thinks that Gilberti will owe him a favor.
Yeah, it just seemed odd that maybe
he wants to go outside for a smoke.
Yeah,
it's gonna be there anyway.
You
know what? Okay. This probably could have all been fixed, all this confusion, if they just put America's Most Wanted in sex to begin with. Like, feels like they're the perfect guys for it almost. Jenny, are you excited at the prospect of a D'Lo Brown versus Mike Sanders match?
No, I am not, because Mike Sanders is in it.
Yeah, as soon as
extremely below average, Mike Sanders.
3.1. Don West jumps in and for some reason just starts narrating shit. I don't know what he's talking about or what he's doing.
Chris Harris with sex.
Chris Harris is with. It's not even questions. It's like, well, Chris Harris is there, and then he basically repeats everything that just happened, like we're idiots and don't understand. He has a ton of questions. He's all in red. Jenny, should he, New Jack, and James Mitchell form some sort of fuck stable?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Now, if these three are in a fuck stable, Jenny, who's having a heart attack among them?
Don West. Ooh.
James doesn't have a heart. He's a demon.
He can have a heart attack.
And then
R.I.P. Don.
He's right. He's dead. Oh, I'm sorry, Don. But I actually like Don West in this. West tells us, though, that Mike today's got an important interview with our NASCAR friends. Whatever the fuck that means.
Not these fucks again.
Yeah, and then he starts talking about the main event, and this is going to be a theme on this episode because he's talking about Triple X entering the match, and it's just words. Get a title shot here. But at this point, did you understand what the main event was?
No.
I had no clue.
No, he just has this big implications for the X division and the tag division all on the line. It's pretty confusing.
They talked about guys getting a shot at the X division title and then muddled it by saying, well, Triple X is going to go in and then you're going to have to fight a tag title match. Did it make any sense to you, Jenny?
No, it did not. But they always put in these stupid steps for no reason.
But why can't they just say what it is?
They don't even know. They can't even explain it.
The show's going too fast. I'm not writing fast enough. It's simple, but quite complex, obviously. Here's Hermie Sadler looking like a fucking lost child.
Oh, Jesus
like
Christ.
his eyes are like, where the hell am I? And then he's like, I'm going to drive the TNA race car for 5 races.
Only 5.
Great. Jeff Hammond is also here. And then he's like, well, the X division here is a lot like Talladega. JT, does that seem callous to you? I mean, Larry Smith and Timmy Lund died at Talladega.
I mean, I don't think we've been too far off from some deaths in the X division.
Okay.
If you would have said like the new church is like the Talladega maybe as well, like there's more likely to be blood and death.
Talladaga's evil.
Hammond does wrap up with a boogity boogity boogity.
Oh, it's not even his catchphrase. That's Daryl Waltrip's catchphrase. And how do I know this?
How do you know that?
My dad was a big race fan.
Okay.
But before he does the boogity booty booty, he promises to join the commentary team for the main event, Jeff Hammond. And he's like actively begging to have a good call. He's like, we're going to have a good call, right? I just hope. I hope we can have a good call.
Try to convince himself.
Yeah, you're not getting it with these two pals, all right? And then before we leave this whole segment too, Hermie's like, well, I'm also going to be driving another car at a different race. What's happening?
While I'm here, might as well get my shit in.
Yeah, exactly.
Make a list of things that no one has ever cared about, and Hermie's talking about them here.
God,
No
I
one
hated this.
Literally
it's so
nobody gives a shit.
It's so stupid. It's like, did he really need to clarify that he wasn't only going to he's going to drive this other car now? Like, why
Maybe
was
he's
that?
afraid to offend NASCAR fans. That will call, like maybe like NASCAR online was like wrestling fans online were like, now wait a minute, you said you're not going to drive that car in Indianapolis.
You don't mention that race. STP is going to drop your ass. Like the boogity boogity thing happens, and the crowd does not care. It's not the right crowd. But then they cut to the strippers. They just cut right away to some ass, and that's what's going on.
They're right there. Might as well cut to them.
Now, Jenny, is this the premium type of wrestling you're happy to pay for on a weekly basis?
Not thus far, no.
Only
Not
$10.
if we're doing anything NASCAR related here with
$10.
these stupid fucks.
You're not going to pay $10 to listen to Jeff Hammond?
No.
Listen for free on fucking ESPN.
God, I hate it.
They got the less good NASCAR commentator. Like Raven's out with Alexis and Julio. Who is Julio, and why do they act like we should know who he is?
I don't know. I was gonna ask.
De Niro.
But
Robert's nephew.
That's his nephew?
I looked it up. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. But guess what, guys? We're not even going to deal with that. We're in it for a treat. The fucking interrogators are back.
Yes.
Yes.
Interrogators.
Oh, here they come. Smug Mike and poor lost Don West. Look at Don West. What's he staring? Mike, what is Mike thinking? What are the tough questions I'm going to ask? You talk about tough questions. Poor Don. I love the blue steel look. It's beautiful.
I think Dapper Don looks good here. TNA looks awful.
It's like they
Yeah,
asked him to
Don's
pose.
doing all right.
Like he's Mike is like looking off in the distance, and Don is into his soul. But if you're being
How you ponder? Okay, let me ponder.
it's Mike TNA is if like an AI created human emotions, and if AI made a forehead. Look at that fucking forehead! Fucking punch it! So, as you know, with the interrogators, it's a one-word association thing, and I don't know if you have notes on this, but I'm going to go through it with you, and I want to see if you can guess what he said. Do you guys have notes on it?
I don't, baby.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so the ones if you know it, Jenny, don't say it. All right.
Okay, I won't.
So it's Dusty Rhodes in the hot seat.
There is like one I did make a comment about, so we'll see.
Okay. Well, okay. First, he says ladder match.
Ric Flair.
Okay. NWA Next Generation. You remember what he says to this?
Me.
Ted Turner?
Daddy.
Today.
Question mark. Get it? So stupid. WCW. Fucking balls on this man. Like, you were there your whole career.
Not even that.
You were in charge.
Yes, I was gonna say he ran the fucking place.
Yeah, that's you. Nikita Koloff.
Ruski.
Superpowers. Gold Dust. This one's easy.
Son.
Nolan Ryan or Roger Clemens?
Oh, Nolan Ryan, Texas baby.
Eh.
The Rocket in his prime was not as good as Nolan, baby. And then Jeff Jarrett.
Ungrateful son of a bitch.
World champion.
Champion. That was it. That was the whole segment. There's maybe one or two.
They really interrogated. They really got in there deep.
What was the point of this?
It's one of those things where I like the concept, but the execution is terrible.
Can we just use it to move the story forward in any way? Why are we talking about Roger Clemens?
Yeah.
Fucking my son.
It was kind of a big deal at this point.
I guess.
Yeah. I would never take away this segment. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh, look. The point in the end is to fill 5 minutes of pay-per-view time that you're paying for, right?
Exactly.
Next up, though, is the ladder match between Dusty Rhodes and Brian Lawler. That's his name from now on. Brian Lawler for the stolen NWA title. Guys, was the world ready for this match to take place in 2003?
No. Laurel looks like such a dipshit. Look at this.
Get this
guy
piece of shit.
Coming out.
Okay.
He's got a NWA titles on the line with this stupid match.
What is wrong with his face, Denny? What is his face?
What is wrong with all of him?
Like, it's all wrong. What's right with him?
Goddamn pal.
Even the flip off he does like so stupid. He's like
yeah. It's so big. It doesn't need to be that big. It's not a big building. It's like slick dancing with none of the style. Then Lawler climbs the ropes. He just screams at the crowd. Like, maybe they'll finally give him the attention he so deserves. JT, maybe this is hard for you, but would you describe Dusty Rhodes' entrance music for me? It's been a while. It feels to me like there's like 600 banjos playing. Like it's an entire banjo orchestra.
Yeah.
Redneck Symphony. Jenny, what has more damage done to it? Dusty's forehead or my pussy?
Dusty's forehead, I think.
This thing's pretty fucking destroyed. Yeah. It's right here. Right. Also, how do we feel about Dusty's soul patch?
I like it. I like it.
And it's everything so far you keep asking about is this very like the epitome of 2002-3. Like soul patch, the blonde messy hair, the baggy clothes. Like this is.
But the problem is these are trends for young people.
Well,
like Dusty Rhodes is 60.
The one thing you can say about wrestlers is they always think they're younger than they are, and they act accordingly.
That's true.
In my opinion, Dusty can do whatever the fuck he wants. So I like it.
A midget beating off inside a trash can. Okay. So Brian Lawler starts the match by jumping Dusty while Brian still has all his gear on. And if you follow this podcast, you know it's a lot of fucking gear. It's sunglasses, pride, necklaces. I also feel like Dusty's choice of knee pads over jeans is probably very uncomfortable.
Yes.
You got to be extra safe.
No, I don't put them under the jeans. Anyway, Brian Lawler uses the ladder early in the match as a weapon. Guys, why were the announcers so shocked and full of indignation that he's using the ladder as
It's almost like they thought he was gonna not abuse the old man, I guess. But like that first ladder shot to the head is pretty nasty. Like he gets him really good, and Dusty's bleeding right away.
Oh yeah, it's 2 for 2 now in the matches with like a massive amount of blood. It's not even the last blood we're gonna see tonight. No. It's not even the worst blood we're gonna see tonight. The start of this one too is just Lawler taking the whole match, which I was shocked by. JT, did you notice when they tried to recreate the Vince McMahon like
yes
Dusty on the side?
They definitely tried,
but they just have no clue how to fucking shoot it. Like
the crazier thing too is that ladder is so cheap. Like when Lawler starts to climb it, like it's bending immediately, and he's not even like that big of a guy, and that thing is like completely starting to crumble as he's climbing it.
If you're a company putting on a ladder match, wouldn't priority number 1 be that the fucking ladder can stand?
Yeah. And it's not a hard, expensive thing to go buy. Like, go to any local. There's a million fucking hardware stores in Nashville. Like, just go buy one that's decently made.
And don't just buy one.
Yeah, by a couple.
And for sure there's a ladder in the building. Like every building has a ladder. It's wobbling everywhere. Like you're saying as well, the ref has to hold it for Brian Lawler, right? Like, and to me, this is the kind of stuff that makes the promotion feel second rate.
Yeah.
It's this exact stuff. JT, why is there a step ladder under the ring?
I ain't climbing no real ladder, baby. Use a step ladder. I'm just gonna take one gentle step up
At a time.
I love it.
I love him bashing Lawler with it nonchalantly.
Oh my god,
I
that's
love it.
amazing.
Yeah.
These are the
Jenny, how good is Dusty Rhodes at the little things that make wrestling great?
He's the fucking king. He's
Look, he's
just
fucking.
just all
This elbow drop is so
it's
fucking
so
good.
fucking great.
Gonna be very ginger, baby.
It's that he lands first. That's
Look,
the problem.
he does. Yeah.
If his feet didn't land first, it'd be a great spot. But like,
But he insisted on taking that last step. He didn't have to do that. He could have done it right there. But no, he wanted that last little step on that tiny ass ladder. That's what he does. He's the best.
Now, this is a record for me. The first time, this is the longest I've gone in an episode, watching an episode, without screaming, "Shut the fuck up" at the TV at Mike today. And I did it at this point because he starts talking about fucking plunder. And it's like, shut the like.
He has plunder.
Yeah, like, yeah. I just feel we're really stretching what needs to be under that ring. And when in that match where he jumps off that ladder, like we all saw it just now, fucking Mike TNA has the balls to go from the third rung. Like,
fuck you.
Fuck you, you piece of shit in your forehead. The poor ladder only gets worse as the match goes on.
Yeah.
Lawler climbs the ladder, has tons of time, and for some reason, instead of getting the belt, just jumps off. Nothing sexy about that. Then Dusty gets the advantage, and instead of climbing, it's like, Jenny, can we forgive Dusty though on the slow climb? If anyone's getting forgiveness, Dusty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need a fast climb. Like, no, that's unsafe. We need him to take his time.
Like if his feet were on fire and the top of the water was a bucket of water, could he actually even get it up any faster than he did?
Probably not.
So, like most matches in this promotion, we have interference. So David Flair is here to try to fuck the life out of tradition. Yeah, but before he can do anything, Nikita Koloff shows up, and Nikita deserts David quicker than his father did. Nikita climbs, and I cannot stress enough how much Nikita Koloff cannot get the belt off the ring.
No, he's struggling big time.
It's so long. He's pulling.
In Russia, they don't have to do that. You know, belt unhooks them.
Belt on leather.
In Russia, belt unhook you.
In Russia, belt already inside of me. So he finally does get it down, and despite up until this point, if my memory serves me right, being an enemy to Dusty Rhodes for weeks, he hands the belt to Dusty and reforms the superpowers.
Well, and it was foreshadowed in the interrogators when they asked him about Nikita, and he said superpowers. Like, he knew what was coming.
JT, does Nikita look like he should be managing a dock somewhere?
A dock.
Fishing boats are late.
I will make sure that your carpets get here on time. Dusty and Nikita hug. It's a nice moment until they try, completely unable to hold that belt together. They lift it 2 or 3 times, and they finally just settle on, fuck it, the belt's going to be upside down. They hold it upside down. All that time to upside down, whatever. Everyone's happy. The match is good. And then Eric Watts runs in, steals the belt, and it just negates everything.
Everything. It's like so fucking pointless.
Ugh. Jenny, where are you at with this tradition versus second generation, guys?
I'm pretty much over it. Like,
It's so stupid.
why would you break this long feud from Dusty and Nikita for this shit? Like, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense.
For what?
And get a ladder that can actually reach where you've got the belt hung also, because I think that's what the problem was. Nobody could reach that fucking shit.
When they did reach it, they couldn't bring it down.
Yeah.
And Lawler, like, is the worst of all these guys. Like, so I haven't minded Watts that much because, like, this weird coked out, self-aware character he's playing is, like, at least entertaining. Lawler's just insane. And even Flair's been, like, okay. Like, so I haven't minded him and Watts, but Lawler's like the worst part of it.
But if
Dusty's
Lawler's the
always
most
engaging.
featured one. That's the
and
problem.
That's the worst part. Yeah, and Dusty's always engaging. Like the crowd is into him. Like that was
Yeah.
fine.
Oh, Dusty all day.
Dusty could be the champion of this promotion. I'd be happy.
Yeah, I really don't give a shit. Like
no, so it was slow pace. Like I went 2 stars. I didn't understand restarting the angle as soon as I edited.
Yeah, like what, JT? What's the point of doing that? Like you went through it all to get the belt back to Dusty, and then you just take it away right away. Like like did they need to keep these young guys strong? We all hate them.
Well, I think Watts is the big bad, right? So I think they're trying to get to that, but yeah.
We'll see. But there's no time to think about it because we're back out to Goldilocks running outside after Chris Harris. And she's like, I got some questions for you from being in the sex locker room. Jenny, the camera pans around and there's clearly some dude's backyard. Like, where are they?
No, I think they're in the parking lot, aren't they?
They're in my house.
Yeah.
I had them come film and then we watched the Giants game.
How many times do you think they asked that guy if they could film in his backyard? Look at this great swing set.
All right. I was going to have a cookout, but I'll wait.
All right. A Raven can come bleed here. Goldie's upset with Harris, which is strange because she's in the fucking sex locker room more than anybody. And Harris tries the whole, look, these guys are okay. You know, they're fine. They're good guys. They just care about the business.
It's fine.
Yeah. JT, is there any conceivable way that Mike Sanders cares about the business?
No, because this whole thing is like ridiculous. Like he's rambling, he shows up, and Harris is like, Gilberti wants to see you. And Harris says, you got no options. So you got too much heat in the TNA locker room. No one likes you there. And said, I don't give a shit. I had heat since day one. Harris calls him an asshole. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, God. The hair is so stupid. And then Sanders says it's 30 degrees and gives Harris his jacket. Like, none of it makes sense.
It makes fun of him for not wearing a jacket. Like, why are we doing this? And even before we get to this point, fucking jealous James Storm shows up and is bitching at Harris. and like, Storm could not have made himself look weaker here. Like, because he's like, look, the promises we made to one another. What the fuck is that in a wrestling show? Like, now in this picture you're seeing now, which is Sanders, Goldie, and James Storm. Like, I love that Harris is like, look, Mike, no one likes you, which is true.
Yeah.
I think Goldie's the only one who's wearing anything that you could, if they got in a time machine, she'd the only one that would look okay today.
I was just about to say, like, I think she's ahead of the curve with the jean jacket. Like, I don't know if that was fully back yet in 03. Like, I feel like she was kind of back ahead of the curve.
She'd get bashed for wearing the Jesus cross.
Yeah, I was going to say, take that cross off.
That's what would happen. Jenny, is Mike Sanders right when he says he has more heat than anyone?
I mean, I guess technically, but he makes it seem like it's something cool, but really it's just they all hate you.
Like it's earned? Like he's got earned heat?
Right. You know, no.
He's trying way too hard. He's just trying too hard to be like cool, slacker, I don't care.
Yeah.
Mike Sanders, oh yeah, I'm above this. Like, I don't know. He's awful. He's really been one of the worst parts of the show.
He just caves and he just goes right to where they want. Like
whatever.
Also, the tucked in T-shirt from Chris Harris, like just you don't wear a bandana and then something tucked in. JT, describe Chris Harris's arms for me.
Big.
Daddy. Mike Sanders wishes he had arms like that, according to Wildcat. I found this whole segment's just a fucking mess. Like,
it sucks.
Because it's just too much of Sanders and Disco. Like, we don't. Yeah. And speaking of which,
we're right back to it.
We get gifted Glenn Gilberti, which is kind of a good name. It's a good asshole heel name.
I don't hate Gilberti during this run. No. Sanders is a guy to me that I always in my mind was like, he wasn't bad. He was fun in WCW. He kind of got screwed in WWF. Like maybe he could have, but watching him here, I'm like, no, he fucking sucks.
He's terrible.
Like, I am done with him. But Gilberti's actually been okay since Russo left, and again, he's become this middle manager. He's been, a lot more interesting.
I think too, like the character he played, Disco Inferno, is just so out there and wild that I think it took a while to kind of get that out of your head with him.
Right.
Yeah, so he's fighting the phenomenal AJ Styles. Jenny, Gilberti comes out. Why would you rip the collar of your shirt here unless you're going to rip the shirt off? It's not a style thing. I know
It-
JT's got the button undone,
He's-
but that's a button, you know? Like,
I gotta do that, buddy. I think we a baseball jersey. When I go to the
Maybe he
Giants
didn't
game.
realize how strong he was, you know?
oh, fuck it. I'm just going to take it
Oh,
off.
fuck.
AJ heads down to the ring, and I don't know if you caught this, immediately calls Disco a homophobic slur
Yep.
that I can't repeat here.
No.
Mhm.
But in some places, you might put one in your mouth.
Mm.
JT, should AJ be fighting Gilberti, or should he be doing better stuff?
Like I think he's been established as better, but I don't mind it because it's like you don't have great matches every week as a top guy. Like you're not always fighting other top stars, so they're like, all right, this week you're just gonna Gilberti's gonna take a crack, and AJ just beats the shit out of him. So it's like,
Right.
it's like whatever. Like sometimes you just fight a guy lesser than you.
Right. AJ's so smooth. His aerial tactics are so good. It's probably no surprise. And this, it's no surprise. I find this, as even at the beginning, it's the best Disco's looked in the ring since joining
Oh,
the
yes.
promotion. Like, far and away.
Mhm.
Serious question, and this might sound like a joke, but it's a serious question. Jenny,
Uh-oh.
is Gilberti hurt by his face?
Do you mean by his nose size?
Maybe. I just find he's got a face. He looks like a fucking weak loser. It's you know, it reminds me of, it's like when Sting wears the white makeup with the black, you know, like when he comes to Stargate, he looks sad. He looks like a sad clown. I find Gilberti looks like a sad clown without the makeup.
Sad clown. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I've never thought of it that way, but he does have a like a hangdog look to him.
Yeah, like he looks sad and depressed. I don't turn
Right,
into
yeah.
wrestling to see someone struggling with depression. Like, I'm already struggling with depression. I don't need to fucking have that projected on the TV screen. I don't want to see someone sad. I'm sad. It's called escapism. Anyway, then we get all fucking philosophical about Disco needing to turn his life around. Fucking Don West philosophizer. Crowd is chanting Disco sucks, but I think he's doing okay here.
He is doing okay.
Yeah, he's all right.
We talk at length, too, about how great AJ Styles is in the ring.
Mhm.
What do you guys think is the weak spot in his game?
In the ring or overall, you mean?
In the ring. Never mind everything else, because I think personality and promo one. I'm just talking in ring.
I don't. Does he not bring guys up
You mean like
to his level?
Oh no, but I don't even know if that's fair. I think that's a good point, but it's like his level is so high that like
No one's really there.
yeah. Jenny, what do you think?
I would say it would be a disconnect from the audience. Like
the personality can't click in with the audience.
yeah, like it it has a coldness to it. You know,
Yeah.
it has a aloofness to it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think those are great points. I went even. I think AJ Styles is like a low-key bad puncher.
Mm.
He uses
Yeah.
his wrist, and I'm curious. I don't know why I started thinking about this, but I'm curious how this ranks him in terms of some of the all-time great workers, because I find the all-time great worker pretty great punchers too.
Yeah.
Flair, Brett, Shawn, Savage, they all had great punches and strikes to round out their offense.
Lawler.
Do you think that hurts him getting into that tier?
No, because I think he's so elite at everything else
He
that it
brings
kind of
everything else.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's not really in an era where punches
Matter.
as much. Like to me, you need to be a great puncher in the 80s and early
Right.
90s. Like by this time, it's almost more important to do some of the other crazy shit he's doing.
That's true. And he does make up for it with his feet. Like
Yeah.
his kicks are always
Yeah.
real. They do the dumbass
Educated feet.
Kang. They do the dumbass finish where Disco pins AJ for 3, but then the
Ugh.
ref sees AJ's arm on the ropes and then reverses it. Then AJ sneaks up. I thought this was a good competitive match.
Yeah.
How does this match help AJ Styles, Jenny?
I wondered that too because he got away with a little bit of a heel ending there, didn't he? And he didn't really need it. He had the match won. There was no reason to put his feet up on the ropes.
But I think he did it just to be like an asshole to
That's what I'm saying.
to Gilberti though. Like almost like a hey, you tried to cheat.
Yeah.
Now I can beat you either way.
Right.
I don't know. I didn't mind it. It was just kind of a cocky thing to do.
I didn't mind it either, but JT, do we need to protect Disco with the finish?
I don't think it's protecting him. Yeah, I think it was more to like show that Gilberti kind of can't do shit right now. Like
Okay.
he cheats and loses, and then AJ beats him. Like it's almost like everything's going against him because he even assaults the ref after. He's like frustrated.
Yeah.
I think this did help AJ because it goes against what I said a second ago. I think it showed that he could carry a guy that wasn't quite at his level. I thought he sold his ass off. His comebacks were really good. I thought Gilberti did okay, kind of going hold for hold with him. I thought he looked okay in the match. Like I don't think he looked completely outclassed, but I went 3 stars. Like I thought, again, it's a fine segment. I can't believe him. I keep saying it, but like again, Gilberti's been okay during this run of the last few episodes.
Yeah. I mean, Disco is
the last 18 months of this podcast, which is like 3 episodes.
Disco is upset. He screams, "Come on!" Don West is on Disco's side.
Yeah,
it's unfair. I think it's unfair that Battle Cat never made it and Disco did. I'm a 3 1/4 for the match. Actually, I quite liked it.
Yeah,
I'm surprised. Mike Tenay though is adamant. Adamant that the referee was correct. But then again, he's adamant and indignant about fucking everything in his life. Gilberti decides then to kick the shit out of the ref. Whatever. JT, did even the ref beating need to bleed into the fucking crowd on this one?
No, I know. It's like, I mean,
just
knock him down and move on.
Yeah.
Then tries to murder the ref with a chair. Tenay screaming, "This is uncalled for." I can't believe this is happening. It's uncalled for. Then fucking get off your fat ass and help. Like, a man is dying.
Well, he calls for a commissioner. We need a commissioner around
Jenny,
here.
does this place need a commissioner?
What do you
Yeah, we
think?
definitely need more authority figures.
Yeah. Who we got?
We never have too many. What happened to Ricky Steamboat? Where the hell's he been?
Yeah.
They thought he was the commissioner.
Where's didn't they have a committee or some bullshit? A bunch of
Executive
old
committee.
fucks? Yeah.
Wasn't what's his name? Jeff Jarrett's
Bullet?
dad around? Bullet
Yeah,
Oh, he was around.
Yeah.
Bullet Armstrong. Like, where are these guys
Yeah.
all at?
And the fucking cab driver with the hat. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, Cabby. Where's him?
Fucking Cabby Smith. All right. Goldie's back though in the sex dressing room, despite all her indignation against Chris Harris, and she's fucking blasting Disco for assaulting the ref. Right now, Sanders comes in. He's screaming. Disco's blaming Sanders for D'Lo coming into the dressing room. JT, is all this dissension between these sex guys really necessary?
I like it because it's such like this guy is so beleaguered. Like he already got yelled at. Then he loses the match. He comes back here and he sees stupid Sanders come in with his dumb face. D'Lo's yelling at him. Gilberti shits on D'Lo. He's like, "You weren't handpicked by Russo. You got no reason to yell at me." Glenn says Sanders bleeds sex. He's one of them, and he wants to see Sanders beat Brown's ass tonight. And for the first time in a while, Sex will have Sanders back. But Sanders better get the job done. So Gilberti's kind of backing his boy, but also giving him an ultimatum at the same time.
Why does he like him? Why does he care about him?
Because
he's probably like his childhood friend.
Oh
friend you made in 2nd grade that you wouldn't be friends with if you met today. But
I think, like, on a
Can't
psychological
count
level,
on those dudes.
if they're like, I think they were both handpicked by Vince Russo, and if Vince Russo made a mistake with Mike Sanders, it's very possible that Disco might think maybe Vince Russo made a mistake with me.
maybe.
Oh God, that is way too much psychology for fucking Disco and Mike Sanders.
Well, fuck psychology because Sonny Siaki's out. I don't know
God.
why. JT,
King
why?
of psychology.
Why isn't Sonny Siaki getting all this TV time, JT, instead of these two idiots?
Yeah, I mean, he should be the centerpiece, right? Ace in the hole, because we've talked about it,
Ace in the
of
hole.
Sex. He's with Desire, who's looking stacked.
And they're gonna fight David Young and Athena. Jenny, who's the best Athena? Athena, current day Athena, or Goddess of Wisdom Athena?
Goddess of Wisdom Athena. Obviously.
Good call. I knew you were wise.
I
Sonny and Desire come down to the ring with someone called Ryan Sweeney, who's, I believe, a man who bid on this chance to do.
Wait, what?
He spent money on it, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Money Mark, Ryan Sweeney. Ryan Sweeney, if you're watching this, please leave a comment and tell us how much you had to pay for the privilege of walking down to the ring with Sonny Siaki.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
What I want to know about the auction is, like, was it specifically to walk Sonny down? Or did he get to pick to do anything on the show? And he's
no,
like,
I think he probably was like, you get to appear on the show. And then he won, and
They
say, okay,
just
you're
stuck
going
him
to
there?
escort Siaki to the ring.
okay. But why? He's a heel.
Come on, that is
Jerry Lynn?
terrible.
Like,
Nothing makes sense.
yeah.
Oh.
Mixed tag rules here. And Athena, I think when she comes out, she looks like a fucking badass, right?
Yeah, she does.
But then she skips to the ring.
Yep.
I guess running. Jenny, has anyone ever looked intimidating skipping?
Sometimes if you got a folding chair in your hand.
Like I feel like Godzilla could skip through Tokyo and we'd be like, what's happening with this?
Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah, like Siaki on the mic, and I fucking love Siaki on the mic. Everyone knows Ace in the Hole, Sonny Siaki. Everyone knows me. That's the first words out of his mouth.
Sucky Siaki.
He says the reason that he and David Young, that's later. He and David Young aren't getting along is because me, Sonny Siaki, I got the best looks and the best body, and Young, you're fat and ugly. It's just so matter of fact. And then he goes, the real beef here is between the beautiful Desire and that little skank Athena. And then Siaki, the match is Desire versus Fatty. And he's like, this doesn't concern us. And then, but Athena and Desire are into all of this.
Right.
They're both like, yeah. And then, so they get out, and then this happens. Why does this happen? Why does David Young fucking spike the shit out of Athena? Like,
well, he's gone sex.
Yep.
It's such a meaningless turn. Like this is when you think of the worst of TNA. Like meaningless swerves. Like this, who cared? Like we really needed David Young in sex, and we have to have more abuse of women. Like we have to get that in. We haven't had enough tonight, so we gotta chalk that one in. It just didn't make sense. It was meaningless to me. This was a dud. I mean, it's not even a match, but it's like
so stupid.
It's dumb. Like this is like the worst part of the show to me so far.
Desire does roll over and pin her, but yeah, Jenny. I mean, like
no, fuck all that.
Does this though make Sonny Siaki the leader, Jenny? Because at least he's recruiting people, bringing new people.
Leader of the abusers. All right, sure.
And I guess to follow, I know there's not much more to say about this, but JT, why is everything that happens in this promotion at Athena's expense?
I know, it's a poor woman.
I got nothing.
Well, we move away from that. Goldie's in the back with Perry Saturn in preparation for his mic against Mike Barton. But I'm like, yeah, too. But then he starts talking and he goes, 500 fights. Guys, have both these guys have had 500 fights. Number one, what is wrong? Both of you, what is wrong with Perry Saturn's brain?
He's gone. He's scrambled. I mean, completely scrambled. Like he's got not much left at this point.
No. Jarrett interrupts and says this. Hey, Perry, hold on a second.
Oh no.
They gotta get him choking Goldie. I find when Jarrett calls Saturn Perry, it like takes away takes away all of Perry's status as a badass.
Yeah.
What's up, Perry?
Perry. He doesn't yell at him. Perry. Like he says it like.
So when Goldust called Austin Stone.
Yeah. Stone. That's right. Stone. Barton attacks Saturn. Jenny, what does Goldie scream?
Oh, no.
Close. Jesus Christ!
No.
So we're rolling right into Mike Barton, Barton-san against lovable derelict Perry Saturn.
Yes.
Barton's got the Japanese flag all over his fucking pants like he's a traitor.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, the rising sun on his tight.
Well, he did. I mean, he worked in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he kind of rebirthed his career after the Brawl for All bullshit.
Rebirth. He's in TNA.
I mean, he should have been done. He's here because he was good in Japan.
He should have retired. Within 30 seconds, Perry Saturn is busted open from the punches. Yeah. His eye is a fucking mess. Mm-hmm. And he just becomes dead weight at one point. But this doesn't fucking stop Perry from inventing Suplex City on Mike Barton's cowboy. He just fucking starts throwing around. This match is stiff as fuck.
Yes,
they
sir.
beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, they do.
Like they pound each other. Yeah. But I would like to just know what is the facial expressions that Perry Saturn are making. Like, what is that expression?
That's Barton.
Barton.
That's Barton.
Yeah. Barton. What is
Barton.
that expression on Barton? That's my mistake. What is that expression on Barton? Is that an expression you should ever do in a professional fight?
That is the expression of, first of all, someone whose neck looks like it's the same as his face, straight down. I think it's just the angle. Second of all, I think it's a man who realizes Perry Saturn is like some kind of cyborg and not a real human being. And he's like, what?
Yes,
Why do I keep getting in these situations? It's like the Ferris Bueller pause. Like, it's like, you might be wondering how I got here. Like, again, here's poor Mike Barton, like, gets his way to the top, and now he's in there with this fucking maniac stiffing the shit out of him.
Yeah. And it's funny because Saturn is stiffing him, but I'm pretty sure he was stiffing Saturn too.
Yeah, he's giving it right back. It's like
Saturn is bleeding everywhere. Saturn loves the business, right? Like,
yes,
he is giving.
No one is working this hard in TNA. This is the crazy part. Like, the young guys flying around, but like nobody is having these fucking brutal Japanese level strong style matches in TNA. That's how much these guys are like trying to stand out during this time.
You're trying to tell us you're a tiger right now?
Tigre,
excuse me. I don't know if it's intentional. I don't know if they planned this, but like, it's making Barton look like a killer and making Saturn, getting him some huge sympathy heat. So it's one match. He's doing the whole match where he's trying to knock him out, and then he's demanding the ref count him.
Yes,
which I like because it plays into, like, I mean, I didn't love him going off about the brawl for all earlier, but at least they're tying it in.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I'm going to prove I'm going to still be a knockout artist.
And we shit on, at least I shit on, but we kind of shit on the camera crew for missing the dusty spot over the ring. But they get this great camera shot on delayed suplex.
Oh, shit, yeah.
The blood is just
all dripping
out.
That was
like, great shot. What a great use of that move in that moment. And great instinct from the cameraman. And I feel like if you went to the show with no prior knowledge of who they were or anything, these two look like world beaters.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it looks like Saturn's going to pull it out with a deep up. And I even love the ending of the match where Barton, I guess, breaks his hand on Saturn's face.
Yeah, he broke his hand punching him, and then Saturn just wrenches it, and he's going to give up. Yeah, this was awesome. Like, this fucking rock. Like, give me this in TNA.
Yeah.
Two badasses, Haasas beating the shit out of each other. Like, Barton is so good in this role as just the big, like, cowboy brawler. And Saturn was great as the awesome bloody underdog. A fresh feeling battle. One of my favorite things we've watched in TNA so far. I went 3.5, which maybe not 3.5, but like, if you knew this match was going to be this, like 3.5, like that would have been crazy before you go to watch it. It is kind of an underground legend, this match. Like, it's kind of known. I vaguely remember at the time, but then I remember talking to Chad about it like last year, and he's like, yeah, that's like talked about in a lot of circles as like kind of this weird gem buried in this TNA show. And I to your point, Aaron, when you talk about like people in TNA maybe hadn't seen them or maybe newer fans that weren't as aware, it reminds me, Jenny, of like probably a poor man's version of like when Awesome and Tanaka showed up in ECW and out of nowhere just started destroying each other with chairs and being crazy. Like, that must have been what this was like. Like, wait a minute, what are we doing? Like, these two guys are out here out of nowhere. They've only been here maybe one or two combined appearances, and now they're just like massacring each other with this brutal. And it wasn't just like the opener was like weapons for weapons' sake. Like, this was a fight. Like, it was. There's no cheese graters. There's no tail. Like, they're just beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah. Jenny, am I wrong? Was this bordering on great?
No, it was. I'm a huge Saturn mark anyway, so all of this was amazing. And honestly, I expect this sort of performance from Saturn. So I didn't know it was underground legend, but I did 3.5 stars on that shit too because it was incredible. And I'm like, what is he doing? Why is he going so hard? But then I'm like, fuck it.
He doesn't have a functional brain.
That's what he does, and that's what I love about him.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm at 375. I'm at 3 3/4. I considered 4. I was like, fuck, I really love this.
Fucking great.
Yeah, like Saturn has a ripoff of Kashmir from Led Zeppelin as his.
They're all ripoffs. Everything's a ripoff.
Yeah. Goldie in the back with New Jack. Immediately within 10 seconds, he's told to shut up.
Shut up.
right away. Sandman comes in. He's screaming.
You fucked up the plan.
Screaming, Jenny, why are Sandman and New Jack mad at each other? And did you make out a single solitary word that they said?
Well, Sandman's mad because New Jack fucked up the match for him.
Yeah, he fucked up the plan. He says you fucked up the plan.
Yeah, he fucked up the plan.
Does Sandman look like a guy who has a plan? Like
he is.
Drink beer and smoke. They're face to face, like right on each other. And I'm like, what's gonna happen? And then, as if the show needed more chaos, out of nowhere, a fucking fireball enters the ring.
I thought.
What does Goldie scream?
Fire!
Fire!
I thought you were gonna play Fireball.
Here comes Father Jim. Got a fucking fireball, gonna burn you. And you'll never be Denzel Washington, New Jack. Oh, you may be Denzel's friend. Oh, it's the best you can do. Since you killed that fat guy in Massachusetts.
Maybe better than Cuba Gooding Jr. You could have been a Jerry Maguire. The new church murders everyone.
Yes.
Guys, did Father Mitchell need to sniff the camera so much at the end?
Yes.
There was so much sniffing.
Oh, they're my favorite part of the show.
Gosh, they're awesome.
Are they erring on the side of doing too much with these guys,
No.
New Jack, with them being on the show so much?
No, because I think what you want to do with these types of guys is run them into the fucking ground. It's like an old running back. Like, get what you can out of him before the wheels come off. Like, eventually these dudes are going to self-destruct and fall apart and quit and no-show. Like, run them into the ground, get everything you want out of them, and then see you later. Like, you're not playing the long game of New Jack in 2003. You know what I mean? Like it's let's just burn bright.
Wow,
burn bright.
Brutal.
Get them out, and
yeah,
they're going to be best in this tight window. Like, they're not long-term assets at this point. They're just not.
No.
Like, so just whatever. Like, let them carry your show for a couple months with chaos, and then eventually, they're going to probably self-destruct.
Halfway point of the show.
Oh my
right
God.
here.
Wow.
Yeah. And we're on to Mike Sanders, D'Lo Brown. It's our match. Jenny, are you down?
No, I'm not fucking down.
All right. Well,
I ain't never been down.
How are we only halfway?
D'Lo's got some. I was thinking that as I was.
This was the main event.
Nope, not even
I was like, are you sure?
There's like 4 other matches and an interview to end. D'Lo's got some great fire, right? But can we please talk about this look from Mike Sanders? I feel like it's the same font as when Triple H was wearing those long tights, like in 1998. Does this outfit that Sanders is wearing fit in this world?
No. It's like a full Olympic singlet, and he looks like a giant baby, like poured into like a onesie. Like, that's what it looked like to me. Like,
shoe polish in his hair.
They both look like that to me.
It's as bad. Like, this is a guy that has no confidence and no identity. This is a dude that's like just trying to do whatever he can to make something click, and he's got zero confidence that anything's working. Like, that's where he's at right now. He's like, all right, I'm gonna be a cool slacker guy. Now I'm gonna be intense real wrestler guy. Now I'm gonna be, leader of sex guy. Like, none of it feels legit.
No,
it all just feels like a guy trying too hard to find something that works.
Yeah, why would he order that singlet? Where would he order that singlet? Like,
it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, yeah. Sanders hits a moonsault on the outside, which already looks sloppy, but then he kind of just rolls up to his back like a child would, like trying to kip up. Like when a child is like, hey, I kipped up. Like, that's what Sanders does. And I want to say that I'm surprised that Sanders takes so much of the match early on, but that's pretty par for the course here. We get the most of the worst guys, I feel.
Yeah.
Whole story is the infighting between sex. That's all the commentators are talking about. That's all that's going on. How dumb, though, does Mike Sanders look in this mockery of D'Lo Brown? Like, he tries to do D'Lo's arm things, and like, what is that? Like,
I don't know.
It's the shitty version of like it's basically a seizure.
What is he doing?
It's a guy that can't do anything right. It's just like,
oh my God.
No matter everything he does, it's just stupid.
Yeah. I wish that was his character, that like he can't do anything right. Wow, his tongue is out the side of his mouth.
It's like a guy like at a mega church. You're like, all right, get the exorcism.
Oh,
Having a Jesus moment.
Oh shit!
After the mockery of this, the match
Make it stop.
Thank
you.
It slows to a crawl with a Cobra clutch. Don West then decides to bring up a halfway decent point where he's like, I think D'Lo is forgetting what this match means to him. JT, is he talking about the character or the performer?
Yeah, a little bit of both probably, because he's probably thinking like, all right, D'Lo, like you're supposed to be an ace in this promotion. You wanted the title shot, and you're dragging through this match with Mike Sanders right now.
Yeah,
it does hit a nice spine buster though.
Oh, he does. But Mike Sanders is garbage in the ring because like there's so much. All of Mike Sanders' spots, there's so much cooperation. Brown finally gets control, but then Siaki and Desire are out for the distraction. Jenny, was all of the interference they did there necessary for a near fall?
That's how bad Sanders is.
Yeah. Well.
The
superflex is nice though.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, D'Lo hits a sky high for the win. Gilberti jumps him from behind. Gilberti and Siaki double team D'Lo. I do like I like the little synergy of Gilberti and Siaki wearing the same color scheme of red and black. Mike Sanders,
now you like the red, huh?
Well, I mean, as long as they're not fucking James Mitchell, I'm on board.
I'm just saying, is he part of their sex
fuck stable? Yes.
Yeah, their fuck stable.
West is begging at this point for a commissioner. TNA is begging for Law and Order. I'm at 2.25 for the match. JT, who is the best choice for a commissioner here?
Nick Bockwinkel is my only choice ever for commissioner. I don't know if he's dead or delirious, but at this point, but bring him back. I went 2 3/4. Actually, it was okay. It was fine. Like they actually have given a lot of in-ring time on this card, which we don't always get with TNA, but like I feel like all the matches have gotten some time.
Yeah.
And they all have different structure, which I appreciate. Like not every match feels the same. Sanders comes up short again. I would argue this might be his best match in TNA so far that we've seen. Not a very high bar, but
I think it is too, and I'm at 2 1/4.
Yeah, I mean it's just Brown's usual. Brown is sound in the ring, and that's what this was. Just didn't go next level because Sanders sucks, but I thought D'Lo was okay. So I went 2 3/4.
Jenny, should I remove the gun from my mouth?
Yeah, I mean you got to finish the show at least. Just wait till we get done.
I have to.
I mean,
right.
like 2.5.
End that way. That'd be a great ending.
It's like 2.5.
Bro, he's dead.
I hate
TNA
Mike
is
Sanders
dead.
and D'Lo's not that impressive to me at all. Like it was boring and meh for me.
That's it.
I'm not down.
It's like I can't.
You think he was like trying to mix D'Lo and Coco? Trying to do the bird?
Who knows?
He thought Frankie was. Maybe he became Frankie. He was possessed by Frankie. Yeah. I can live with bad. I can live with great. I struggle to live with boring.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's to me, that's always the worst stuff. But we cut away from it. Strippers. And right away, we're with fucking urban Mike TNA with Trinity. Jenny, is Mike TNA crossing his legs to hide his erect pain?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. It's so weird. It's like, you'll have to excuse my hard on. Trinity, she's going on about being trained by Mike.
She does look hot, so I mean.
I was trained by Mike Whipwreck, which I wasn't expecting that to be name dropped there.
Michael Whipwreck is
Michael.
Yeah. Then she's like, I'm a stunt performer. I doubled in Daredevil. And
Anaconda.
Anaconda. That's right. She's just talking about herself. Get to know her, whatever. Kid Cash shows up to join the interview. Whatever. At least he brought his own fucking chair, which I loved. JT, is it demeaning of Urban Mike to call Kid Cash Dave?
Hey, where'd I go?
Yeah.
A little bit.
At TNA's breasts, his eyes are down. Like,
hello. No, I mean, hey, Dave, we're in a formal setting. This is outside the construct.
Right.
I do like Kid Cash saying, "Trinity's taking my spotlight and my accolades."
Yeah, what is an accolade?
Accolade. She went ahead and drove home with my accolade, baby. Took it right out of my garage.
So Kid Cash has to fight Raven tonight, and then Kid Cash like, I'm gonna make this clear. You're gonna be in the line of fire.
Mm-hmm.
She should just get Ben Affleck to beat his ass. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
part of Daredevil. Yeah,
She should just beat his ass.
I agree.
or get the snake to eat him like John Voight.
Yes, JT. What are the odds that she banged Ben Affleck?
Oh,
Trinity?
Probably high, right?
I'll say 73%.
Yeah, it's high.
Oh.
Semi-main event.
95%.
95.
95.
I'm probably closer to Jenny.
Mhm.
Semi-main event. Raven versus Kid Cash. Raven is out with Alexis Lurie, and I'll be honest, guys, she is giving Francine a run for her money here. Just a tremendous chin. I don't know, too, if people told Trinity that the interview was going to air right before her entrance, because she doesn't look unhappy at all when she comes out.
Yeah.
She's like, she's happy to be there. Jenny and JT, both of you, does Raven make a top 100 North American workers list?
Yes.
He doesn't make a GWWE, right? We know that because nobody put him on that list.
I'm going to say probably not. I'm going to say maybe pre 2006-7. Yes.
Okay.
I think after there's just been too much good talent that's come along. And I think his run is so short in ECW. Like, as great as it is, it's really just like 2 years. He doesn't have a ton beyond that. As crazy as Johnny Pope. Like, there's not much else substance into it. I know this run in TNA is fun, but like, I don't think he's got enough body of work.
Even his WCW run is like a year and a half, right?
Yeah, there's just not a ton to it. And like, it's good, but it like falls off kind of quick too.
He feels like the type of guy who if he gets in, is like in the 90s, but like someone's putting him there because they really like him.
Right. Yeah, I just think there's too much talent these days. Like, if you would have said it around this time, yes, probably. Right. I just think post ROH, rebirth of WWE indie style, and even in TNA, the heyday TNA with Joe and Daniels and those guys, and NXT, like AEW, like there's just so many guys now that I don't see what is room for him. But
I suppose I'd have to also take a look at his Ring of Honor run, which I hear is good.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he's top 150.
Yeah. Cash tries to jump the whole ring at one point to get to Raven, but he lands like really short.
But we do find out real quick. We do find out his title match is coming now on April 30th. Like, that's locked in. Raven Jarrett, April 30th.
Right. That's the one you ordered.
Yes.
Nice. I find this match is totally fine, but there's nothing really interesting happening. It tells an interesting story in that Raven is like the legacy legitimacy guy, while Cash is the flashy guy. But they don't quite fit together. And Cash misses a bunch of stuff in the match. Like he just jumping in the corner, trying to jump up to the top rope. Not stuff we usually see out of him. Right. Jenny, is he just really excited about Hermie Sadler being there?
No, I think he's rattled. I think he doesn't. I think that his confidence is shaken a little bit, and Trinity is out there and he is waiting for his chance to use her, which he does.
It's his chance to impress Jeff Hammond.
Is he like, did you bang Matt Damon too?
I do like the talking point for today that like Raven is building his own group inside Sex. Like he's part of them, but he really is creating his own little crew within it and kind of using the construct of Sex to like build up his army.
Yeah.
As Raven does.
As a Raven would do. Cash tries for a great jumping moonsault, but Raven moves and the crowd chants TNA.
Yeah, I mean,
what are they cheering for there?
TNA action, man.
TNA,
Total nonstop.
It's not stopping, except for all the interviews. Despite being warned not to move a muscle, Trinity gets involved. Hurricane Run as Raven, then moonsaults onto Alexis and Julio on the outside, and then fucks off. And then Raven hits the DDT to win. JT, is it me, or is the ending of this match not connected to the match that's happening at all?
This is like two guys passing the nights in different storylines. They really didn't have a reason to be in there together, and they're doing their own thing within the match. It's like Raven's kind of pushing his story that he's becoming the top contender to Jarrett. He's building his own crew. Cash has this issue going with Trinity's in the X division. It just feels like they're kind of passing through the ring at the same time, kind of interacting a bit and then moving on past each other. Yeah, I mean, that's what I felt like. I do like when Cash dumps Raven over the top and then just dives into Julio and Alexis. Like, that looks cool. And there's some decent spots. Like, Ravens hits a really nice power bomb at one point. It did feel like Cash was trying too hard, but I think Jenny's onto something. Like, I do think that it was part of the story is that he's trying to show up Trinity. That, you know, he's a baller and he's going to go out there. And this was the match he didn't want. He feels Trinity got him put into it, and he's trying to prove a point. And it almost feels like he's trying too hard, and he slips up and messes a lot up. He bangs his knee up. I liked this as a match, actually. I even with the clunkiness to it, like, I think Raven's good with the smaller guys. I like Cash trying different stuff. I like the new flock idea with 2 young, hungry up and comers that can be manipulated in De Niro and Alexis. Like, that's right up Raven's alley. I think it's the best. Like, Raven's flock in WCW is cool because there's a bunch of miscreants, but the ECW version was that he was mind controlling, you know, a young idiot and Stevie Richards, you know, Beulah, because she wanted revenge on Tommy. Like, he was preying on them, right? And WCW is not that really that vibe. This feels more like the original concept of the flock, where he's playing mind control, like a David Koresh type of mind control on these young people, cult like. To, you know, reference another podcast on the North South Connection, Talking Docs.
I thought you were saying Talking Cults. I was like, oh my god, I missed that one.
Talking Docs season has been all about cults. Check it out.
Check
it out. 3.25 from me on this match. I actually dug it. But I like both these guys a lot. Like, I've liked Cash a lot in TNA, and Raven. Yes, I'll always like Raven.
Jenny, does this first Alexis look a bit like AJ Lee? And is this Punk's type?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he bangs her here too. So
yeah, he probably does, doesn't he? Yeah, I don't know. He probably does have a type like that. But yeah, I mean, I like all of Justin's points, but like, Raven looks better to me than I think he has any right to. Like, at this time, like, Sandman looks a little worn down, but Raven still looks really good.
Well, Raven got out of that. Like,
right.
We saw it. He didn't do as many stupid spots as like the other guys did. He's out of ECW by 97. Yeah, I mean, there's a blip late, but like, he's not really working that crazy of a style post 97.
In WCW, he doesn't do anything crazy, really. I mean,
in WF, he does even less. So it's like, you know, he really only has 2 years of that style, where Sandman and New Jack have like 6 years.
Their whole career. Their whole career is that style.
Yeah, it definitely shows up here for sure.
But of all these guys that they brought in, Raven, to me, they've have it stacked right, where Sandman and New Jack are in the sideshow, and Raven's the guy they're kind of building around, because yes, he is the guy that is in the best shape still. He's the guy that has the better psychology and in-ring approach. So I think they've made the right choice by picking him of the ECW leftovers to be the guy.
I'd agree with that. I just struggle with Kid Cash, but I thought the match was fine. I'm at 2 3/4. We're moving on, though. West and TNA are screaming about what's coming up. Jerry Lynn and Amazing Red are teaming up. Okay.
Yay! Right? I love them.
And then he's like, whoever wins this match, the team becomes the 2 top contenders for the X Division Championship. If Triple X loses the match, then that team that beats them gets a title match. And the interview is going to be the main event. TNA starts yelling, "Where's Jeff Hannon?" Starts screaming for Jeff Hannon.
There he is. He arrives right on cue.
Jeff Hannon's ready to get it on.
Boss.
He looks terrified. Like,
let's go.
Now, at this point, before the teams start coming up, do you understand what the match is and who's in it?
Yeah.
I know there's a bunch of guys.
Yeah, I don't know
whoever wins, the top 2 guys will be the top 2 new contenders, because we do a top 10 usually for the X. And if Triple X loses, whoever pins them will be number 1 contenders.
Right, but I don't know who's in this match yet.
No, and they haven't really clarified. We know Lynn and Red are teaming. That's about it.
And Triple X. Okay, yeah.
We don't know Shark Boy and
I didn't even know if it was 4 teams. And
Howard
it's
Cross, whatever his name is.
So the main event match is a 4-team match. Daniels and Skipper versus Shark Boy and Jason Cross versus Johnny Storm and Chris Sabin versus Jerry Lynn and Amazing Red.
That is a debut for us, Chris Sabin. First appearance.
Debut alert.
Another fucking Chris. Alert. Way to go.
We need the Chris's. He's doing all the hand gestures. That's what he does. It's a lot of that. But I mean, this is a guy who's going to be in the promotion forever.
Oh, really?
There it is. Now entering the asylum.
There we go.
Chris Sabin. Jeff Hammond also was our other debut. So those are only 2 debuts tonight. Crazy enough on a
Jeff Hammond come back.
program known for a million fucking debuts. But yes.
Jenny, were you relieved that Jason Cross has removed the disrespectful cross from his anus?
Oh, I was, but also that's kind of hot. So a little bit disappointed.
I feel like Jesus is probably like a reasonable dude. But I bet he'd be like, look, all right, fine. You want to use the thing they tortured me on as my
look,
symbol?
At the end of the day, Jesus
fine.
knows he's a bit of a hypocrite. Like, he said, "Oh, I'm gonna die for your sins," and then he came back anyway. He didn't really die.
Just don't plant the cross in the anus. Is all I think the Son of Man is asking for. Like,
well, yeah. Don't kink shame.
He
also,
did date a hooker, so
Jesus, yeah, I guess.
Yep.
Well, she did a number on his feet. I mean, once you start manipulating those feet, it's hard to say no.
But he did a number on her feet.
JT, were you ready for the debuts of Wonder Kid Johnny Storm and the future Chris Sabin?
I was not. I think we've seen the Wonder Kid before, but Sabin is net new for us for sure. Hammond also, he's using all these weird platitudes in this match. Calls it the young and the restless. Like what are we doing? He talks about doing a commercial with Bob Holly. Like
why are they talking about Bob Holly?
Yeah, well, I don't think he was supposed to. I'm sure they didn't want him to, but he's like, let me just name all the wrestling shit I know. Bob Holly.
That's
a story about being at Ivan Koloff's house. Like what a strange flex. Like really, what are we doing?
He's nervous. He blacked out. He doesn't even know what he's saying anymore.
Jenny, what's your strangest flex?
Oh God.
I would say it's Ratty Daddy and the DMs.
Oh shit! No,
that's probably the biggest one.
I have never flexed that ever in my
life. Red is clearly the crowd favorite early on. Shark Boy and Red exchange some flying shit, and they're both way over with the crowd. JT, is Christopher Daniels' body and face evidence that there are lizard people?
He's very serpentine.
Gotta work that in somewhere. His nose is too low. His nose is he's got a low nose.
It looks like Voldemort, and I don't want to say his name. But he looks like Voldemort.
Tried to get a picture. Was afraid of going into the dark web. Can you find the lizard folk? You know, when they dig in the earth, the lizard folk are everywhere. Jenny, does it bother you that Chris Sabin is wearing a pair of Dean Malenko's old tights?
No, I like him. He looks good.
But Sabin looks great. He's super fluid. Yeah. The moves have impact. It's no surprise they kept him around.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Forever. Yeah, JT. Like, are they bring up Bob Holly, right? Are they did Hannon get bullied by Bob Holly at the racetrack?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, 100%.
Also, what's the shit on Jason Cross's forehead? Like, I looked it up. Ash Wednesday 2003 was like a month earlier. And is that a new thing that we're putting ash on? Is that something we always did? Ash on the head?
Maybe it's like going with the cross gimmick.
Does anybody have the true ash from Jesus' body?
Someone somewhere selling it.
Yes.
I think.
Jason Cross is going to jump on Daniels, but from the MCU, Venom jumps in from the crowd, and Daniels pins Jason Cross to eliminate Cross and Shark Boy. I will say, I like that they're building the next matches in these matches.
Yeah,
I'm happy with it. Mm-hmm. But then Sabin's doing well, and Venom comes back and attacks him too.
Like, they love these mystery luchadors. Like, there's always mystery guys, masked men.
The luchador.
Run-ins like that.
They just call him the luchador.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lynn just picks up Sabin and fucking pile drives the shit out of him to pin him. Like, Venom is going to be a part of 2 storylines going forward. Is Venom good for business, JT?
I don't know. Like, I liked this match a lot, and I get the story, but I feel like it really derailed right as it was getting rocking. Like, it was like, okay, another mystery luchador. Who's this one? You know, it's like Russo was Mr. Wrestling. We've had all these masked guys. David Flair. You know, Nikita Koloff at one point was in a mask. So I was like, what are we doing? It's like,
I have to get back to the dock. Got the big shipment coming in. We're down. So it's down to Triple X against Red and Lynn. And does this final pairing kind of spoil the ending?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels like, you know, it's pretty obvious who's going to win at this point.
Yeah.
But Skipper does the great And then this is where Hanlon, I feel, goes off the rails. He's like, well, that's why they're the champs. And then he goes, just like a good race team, you got to have teamwork. Jenny, could he have made that exact same statement about literally anything on Earth?
Anything, but no, it's got to be racing, you see.
There's like a 3-minute sequence where both teams like hit all their kill shots, but can't capitalize because the partner keeps jumping in. Really well done. Doesn't look convoluted at all. Skipper gets the tag, gets drop kicked into his own face by Lynn. And then Red rolls up Daniels for the win. I like the athleticism here.
Yeah.
Jenny, despite the athleticism, did it feel in any way disjointed for you?
Despite no. Well, the only thing was the masked man running in.
Right.
Everything else I thought had a real good pace and fluidity to it. And the stories make sense. I thought the eliminations made sense. And the finish made sense and was really good.
Can that be the tagline of this episode? Jenny Smith, the finish makes sense.
The finish makes sense.
The storylines make sense.
Really good.
I thought it was a great match. Like, it had some wild offense. I mean, the X
4
Division
stars,
continues.
Nice. Sorry,
no, you're good. It was a great match. I had some wild offense. I think the X Division continues to rule TNA. I think it would have been even better though without the masked lucha stuff. I really felt that derailed the match quite a bit. Sabin looked awesome. I love Lynn and Red getting the stack. Like, they're now the top 2 contenders to the X title, and they're the tag team contenders. Like, those are your best guys right now. Let's push the hell out of them. Red getting the pin was great. Like, he's been awesome this whole time we've been watching. So I went 3.5 again because I was a little down on I thought it fell apart late with all the interference. If you would have told me before the show I'd have this match on par with like Bart and Saturn, you would have said you're crazy. But
Bart Gunn and Perry Saturn.
Yeah.
I'm at 3.5 too. I really liked it. I will say I don't know how much I like that that two of the 3 titles are going to be revolving around these 4 guys, but I'm willing to let it play out and see.
But they're like great 4 guys, so like I'm kind of okay with it right now.
Yeah, me too. I just don't know, and quite frankly, you never know who's going to be there week to week, so it's probably good that the consistent guys are there. Oldie's in the back with Watts, and I thought his shirt said Jews Company at first. I'm like, what is he wearing? Like, I got really angry. I started typing hard, like I don't know what I
typing hard.
Well, angry, like, what the fuck is this? Like, I type with my fists. I have giant keys. Bunch. But like, I still don't know. I guess Jeans. I guess it says Jeans Company at some point, but it was the W. It looked like Jews. Anyway, he doesn't care about the belt that he stole. He's wearing it, but he doesn't care. He starts apologizing to Goldie on behalf of Jarrett, and he's like, Jeff Jarrett sent me emails saying what he did to you. God, imagine how mad would Trump be that he doesn't get to see those emails.
He rambles so much that you can't even keep track of what the hell he's talking about. He's just going 100 miles an hour. It's like
he's massaging her and she's disgusted. Yeah.
He takes a dig at Dirty F piping chairs in. Like none of it makes sense to what he's going. Like, I don't want to really follow anything of what he was saying.
He's like, did he hurt you last week? Like, you fucking idiot. He choked the shit out of her. Like, does no one on the show watch the show? And then Watch, though, says the thing we all know. And he goes, everybody hates Jeff Jarrett. And then he's like, I don't know about hate.
Me.
Yeah, me too. And he's like, I'm such a success. I don't know what it's like to be hated. And then he tells Jeff, you're the one person in the world, the one person you can count on is me. If that's true, JT, should Jarrett just kill himself?
None of this makes sense. Like, the Watts thing is very, very convoluted from the start. Like, he's crazy. He's trying to be Jarrett's friend. Jarrett let him down. Like, none of it really tracks in any way.
Yeah. And then he ends the segment by, you must live life or life will live you. Jenny, what the fuck does that mean?
I have no idea. I was hoping that you would tell me.
I don't know.
Sounds like some Shakespeare shit that you would know.
No, Shakespeare makes sense and actually is based in reality. But our reality is Jeff Jarrett is coming down from the main event interview. If I paid for this show, I feel like I'd be a bit pissed that the main event is the same. the Canadian tuxedo, as we call it.
Oh boy,
Jenny, why is it called the Canadian tuxedo?
I guess because it matches and it's
a formal version of what Canadians would wear. Like this is formal dress for them.
Right.
Them. You guys are talking out of your asses. But that's
not accurate. Is that not accurate?
No, we don't wear that shit.
Somewhere in Canada does.
Yeah.
Somewhere, everywhere is wearing this shit. Like there's 8 billion people on Earth. You don't think there's some fucking guy in a tribe and somewhere wearing jeans that got
tribe?
Brought? I don't know. There's tribes.
Just tribes. Tribes.
Tribes. Don't act like you don't know there's tribes. There's a tribe where there's still people are going there. They get shot with arrows. That happens.
I'm a tribe expert. Don't talk to me about tribes.
Enlighten us. TNA wants answers, though. He's like, why are you beating up women? JT, did he not watch any of the WWF in 1999?
Right, that's how I got over there, pal. Gonna get over again here, same way.
Yeah, Jarrett starts talking like he's the fucking three faces of Foley. Like, which Jeff do you want? And then Jeff's like,
that was so fucking annoying.
Like, what are we doing? And Jeff's like, I'm feeling the pressure of being champion, but that's insane because he was champion of a much bigger company 3 years ago. And then TNA's like, where are you coming from? And like, didn't they do an interview 2 weeks earlier?
Yeah.
And then TNA goes, at this point, I have to ask you, is it pressure or paranoia? Then Jeff says, do you have news for me? TNA goes, you have to represent the NWA. I have never seen in my life 2 people not listening to each other more. It's like they went off and each wrote their lines without consulting the other one. And then look, we're going to say the lines in order. Whenever they come out, like, it's what it is.
Every question was answered with a question. They repeated the other person's, the end of their question. Oh, is that what you want? Yeah, that's what I want. Just dumb. Just made no sense.
Thank you, producer Tim. Bing Crosby accidentally invented the casino while trying to check into a Vancouver hotel. So it was Bing Crosby's American, right?
I mean, he sings about Christmas, so yes.
You're taking credit for Christmas now? You fucking... You don't have enough jingoism? You got to take Christmas?
Oh, man.
You ruined Christmas. Now,
Nothing more American than Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. A fucking fat fuck coming down the chimney. Nothing more American than that.
With a bag of gifts for his friends.
Yep. Bunch of fucking reindeer slaves. Elf slaves.
Oh, my God.
Christ. All right, let's get through this.
All right, we're almost done. Raven interrupts. Raven is like, go ahead, beat up Mike today. My favorite line of the whole episode. Go ahead. I don't care.
You feel like a big man.
In 21 days, I'm going to fulfill my destiny. Why did they have to wait 21 days? I don't understand.
Well, that's when they signed it. That's when the company signed it. Raven does get a big pop when he comes out, by the way. Like, the crowd is into him right now.
He's great.
Raven drones on about insecurity. Jarrett makes fun of his addictions. And Jarrett's like, all right, we're going to do this tonight. There's a minute left in the show at this point. And it's like 49 seconds. Jarrett's being held back by the schmucks. They both get the chairs. Mike Tenay's like, can you feel the tension? Dusty comes down. Jarrett fucking blasts him with a chair. We go off the air. Is this the best way they could have ended the show, Jenny?
Hell no. God, no. Why does nobody in this promotion know how to talk? Jeff Jarrett is so fucking stupid. He spent all this time trying to win this championship. He wanted his title shot. Finally fucking won the fucking title. Now he's like, I feel the pressure as champ. Like, yeah, bitch. That's
I want my title shot.
Yeah, this was a rough ending. So which I thought was actually a fun show. Like,
yeah.
I would have given. I gave a decent grade. We'll get to it, but like, I think I would have given him a better one if we had a hotter main event closing segment here. Jarrett is similar to Sanders in a way where he doesn't feel real. Like, he just feels like he's cosplaying this role. Raven, on the other hand, is very comfortable in who he is and plays to his strengths well. He's very over. We'll see where it goes in a couple weeks, but I think as you're watching this play out, it feels like very much like Raven should ascend and take this belt and build this flock up and be the guy. Whether he's gonna be a face or heel within that, we'll see. But Jarrett, to me, just isn't connecting in this weird tweener role they have him going on. Like he's acting like a heel,
Stone
but
Cold.
he's still kind of the top face. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do, I guess.
Stone Cold Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, they're trying, I guess. But
lukewarm Jeff Jarrett.
Gross.
All right. Well, look, that ends the episode. Who's the MVP of the episode for you guys?
I gotta go Raven.
Yeah, I think probably Raven is really good. The New Church is always great.
Fucking Perry Saturn, motherfucker.
Yeah, Saturn and Barton. I mean, they were great.
Yeah.
So
I'll throw some love Goldie's way just to.
Yeah, she was really good.
Yeah, she kept us going through all
that. What do you want more of, JT?
New Church, Barton and Saturn. Like I gotta hope they stay around. I'm guessing they don't. Sabin, let's keep him around. He looks good in Styles always.
What do you want more of, JT?
I would say the New Church. You asking Jenny? Or you want me to do it again?
Oh, go ahead, Jenny. What do you want more of?
I would say more of Trinity and her really cool, background. She has a really cool story, and I like her character a lot, and she's awesome in the ring. So I like more of Trinity. Get her away from Cash, though. Get her to do something better. I don't know what.
My answer is Francine. Jenny, who do you want less of?
Fucking Brian Lawler. Fucking Mike TNA, but that ain't never gonna fucking happen. And goddamn Mike Sanders.
Yeah,
I'd say the
JT,
Harris boys.
with her?
Harris boys always. Hermie Sadler, I'm good with. Lawler and Flair. Sanders and his heat. Abusive Kid Cash, I don't like that much. Like I just like Kid Cash as a wrestler, not as bullying Trinity. And then Watts in the rambling really killed me at the end there.
Okay, 2003 JT would like.
I don't know if I'd like it, but I would be questioning what happened to Mike Sanders. Like, he's not the guy I remember with the Natural Born Thrillers being the mouthpiece and being entertaining. And maybe if I rewatch that, I'll change my tune. But I remembered liking him in this time, and I can't believe how bad he is.
2003 Jenny is enraptured with
being a body double for Jennifer Garner and fucking Ben Affleck.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. All right, so now we break down our top 10 performers. So let's do that quickly, okay?
All right. Well, here's who we had in our last episode, and we can adjust as needed. But we had New Church number 1, Kid Cash number 2, AJ Styles 3, Siaki 4, Lynn 5, AMW 6, Trinity 7, The Truth. We weren't even see it all tonight at 8. Glenn Gilberti 9, and Saturn 10 actually. I'm fine with New Church 1 still. Like I think they were great tonight, and nothing changed for me to take them out of the top spot.
No, I'm fine with that.
I might bump Cash.
Well, I'll say, should we move AJ to 2?
Yeah.
We good with that from 3?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Let's get AJ up.
Do you want to move Cash beyond 3 based on tonight, or are you okay with him? We didn't have Raven in this list.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, I'm fine taking Truth out. Because he wasn't on. And I think we should put what did I just say? Raven should be on here somewhere.
Yeah. I think Saturn should move up. You want to put Mike Barton on?
Well, I don't know who else to drop off. I mean, AMW weren't great, but do we really want to drop them based on 1 week from 6 out?
I think you can drop Harris and Storm down, but not off.
Right.
We could drop. I don't want to drop anybody off.
I think Barton's just whatever. Yeah. I think we leave Saturn.
We can wait on that.
Yeah.
I think Saturn and Gilberti can stay like 9-10. Like I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I would move Harrison Storm down above them.
Yeah.
I would move Trinity right above them. I would move Siaki down. Oh, Red. We need Red. Shit. Red's gonna be on here. We need Red and Raven. We gotta drop someone else.
Drop Gilberti.
Yeah, all right.
And drop Harris.
No, we're
Storm.
good. No, we dropped
okay.
We dropped Truth. So we're okay.
Okay, perfect. Plug it in.
All right, so these guys all come down. We need Red. So we got Red, Raven. I think Lynn here is fine.
Cool.
Red.
Okay, so New Church, Styles.
Oh, hang on, we're not done yet. Red there. We got Siaki. Oh, Raven. You want to put Raven all the way to 3? I think so.
Put Raven at 3.
We got 1, 2, 3. We need one more. How am I missing?
Who cares? Put Truth in there. Put Truth back.
6.5 this episode was.
Jenny, what's your score?
6.5.
6.5? I'm at 7. Everybody move, 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 move. TNA Never Dies!